Alright, Discord theories. Let's frickin' go! Shout out to my Discord server for creating some spicy and also somewhat bizarre murder drones theories for my entertainment and also for your entertainment. So let's begin. Starting things off, yes. The murder drones were responsible for the 2008 economic crisis and the 1929 Great Depression. Okay.
What? What the fuck?
That actually kind of makes sense. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, finally a place to tell y'all my extensive speculations. Alright dude, I'm all ears. So regarding the Absolute Solver, when Uzi called it a program, it responded with more like you are our cute puppets and implies that it's been around since Uzi's mom was alive. That and the fact that it's able to exist within worker drones as well, albeit in a seemingly separate way, leads me to believe it's much more than a simple repair program and that it may end up being the overarching villain of the entire series. The Palpatine of murder drones, if you will. Holy shit, dude. That actually blew my mind. It can clearly take many different forms, whether it be the nanites that turned N, V, and J from workers into murder drones, a sort of virus or program that gives workers telekinetic abilities, or, of course, a heart-like device that can spawn a giant monster that resembles whatever drone it's meant to be, collecting material for, and who knows how much more. What its true goal is and where it came from, or just how the company was able to make it, and why I'm not quite sure, aliens or interdimensional shenanigans perhaps, but clearly there's a lot more going on than it being a mere backup program that I'm sure we'll get to see more of as the series goes on. You know what, dude? I'm not gonna lie. You know your that is a very good theory, and you know what? It's this series is hard to predict because apparently it's supposed to take the hardest left turn we've ever seen ever. But I like the enthusiasm, and that's a pretty good theory. What do worker drones eat? Do they even eat? Do they gain power by sleeping or what? No, they just eat each other. Typical robot shit. What if sausage was a sausage?
Let sausage!
Jesus Christ, this is the best theory I've ever heard, hands down. For real. For real, for real.
For real?
Khan is distant from Uzi because she reminds him of his late wife, and it's painful to look at her sometimes. So he deflects by saying she's just like her old man when she's nothing like him. Also, he didn't kill N because he's still traumatized. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And thank you for subscribing to the Inferno IT YouTube channel. You know you want to. Come on, click it! Click it! Copper 9 wasn't an accident. I mean, sure, it could have been human error, but I think not. The planet's core collapsing was intentionally done by J.C. Jensen so that they could get military contracts. I mean, if you think about it, sure, the murder drone weapons are lethal against the workers, but the workers were never the intended targets. Humans were. And what better way to test high-grade military weapons than on an abandoned planet with no humans to bear witness to the carnage? It all makes sense. The company knew that the workers would survive, and what better way to test weapon systems than on unsuspecting workers, basically having them be target analogs for humans. Whoa! Oh boy, what the hell did I just read? That was pretty good, actually.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Y'all are creative. I swear, I could never, like, sure, I have a few different theory videos on the channel, but I feel like I am nowhere near as creative as some of you. Like, I don't think I could ever come up with this shit. guess if I had to add to it, I believe that Eldritch J may be an entirely separate entity to regular J, since we see the heart-like device disconnect itself from her body after making it move behind the crates. So it's likely it spawned the monster, perhaps through the black orb in its center, rather than making it out of her remains, and could have stored her body somewhere else. I actually think this could bear some truth to it. I do think that Eldritch J is entirely separate from normal J. I think, because they said specifically that they're still trying to repair J. So I think she will return at some point in her physical form, but it's really hard to tell at the moment. What if Uzi and Doll were a completely different species of worker drone? I don't think they're a completely different species of worker drone. I do think they're just worker drones, but I do think you're onto something. They are very different compared to the other worker drones. Hell, even Eldritch J didn't have the abilities that Uzi and Doll have. But I really don't think they're too different. I think if anything, it's some sort of program that was installed into them. But, anything can happen. Anything. Okay, hear me out. I'm listening. What if? Go on. Jay liked Big Macs with a large side of fries. Gosh, dang it, you're onto something. That actually sounds pretty good. I'm starving right now. These french fries are cold. Yo, when do y'all think the next episode is coming out? February 17th, baby! Let's go! Woo! Episode 3 predictions. Thad will be taken away. I think you're onto something. I do think something will happen to Thad. A crucial character will die. I don't think there's not going to be any big deaths. I don't think. I mean, who knows? Anything's possible. This series has proved to be wacky nonsense, so very possible. But only 3 episodes into the show, I don't think they're going to really kill off a crucial character. At least yet. At least not yet. We will learn more about Tessa / a second flashback. I do think at some point, whether it's the beginning of the episode or sometime in the middle, I do think we will probably get another flashback. We're going to learn more about N's past at some point, but I would like to see that in the next episode. That is one of my big things that I want to see. Doll will practically carry the episode. I do think she's going to be involved in some way, especially after how they left the previous episode. But how big do you think she will play? How big of a role do you think she will play? I'm genuinely curious. Thad's life is miserable. F***ing true, dude. This guy, he has escaped death so much, and there's only 2 episodes right now. Like, seriously, he had to go retrieve Uzi's gun. He got taken away by this weird tentacle monster. Like, what is going on? Everyone just hates Thad. Like, seriously, Thad lives matter. I wonder if N's avoid overheating and dying comment will ever be an issue in a future episode. I also wonder if the Absolute Solver and V would work together or fight if they came into contact with each other. To answer your first thing, I do think it will be an issue. Like, he made it very clear that murder drones need oil to survive. And, he hasn't really been, unless they're showing it off screen, there hasn't really been a moment where he's needed oil. So maybe it does become an issue and, N is on the brink of death because of it. And to answer your second question, I kind of have to agree with Josh here. Well, I think the fact that the Absolute Solver was hostile to N makes me think it'll only be non-hostile to J, since she's the one it's trying to repair, and it may see anyone else as a threat. Now, I'm not disputing the idea of them working together. In fact, we know that V is gonna be some sort of threat in episode 3. But who's to say that they don't end up teaming up? But I do get what Josh is saying, and for the most part I agree, but who knows? If I ever see V at a prom, I will take her hand and pick her up. Oh damn. Man, like... Damn. That's a fine looking robot. I want to see V get beat up by Doll, because then that would piss her off, and the reason why I want to see that is because I want to see her get mad that the things she enjoys killing and getting her ass kicked by a worker drone would be funny as hell in my opinion, since she should never underestimate her opponents, worker drone or not. That's a good point. Okay. Alright, I think we've seen enough. This was honestly a lot of fun to do. I love getting you guys involved with videos on the channel, and I would love to do something like this again, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. So yeah, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna go hibernate until Murder Drones episode 3 comes out. Bye guys!